Hi everyone, welcome to Baby Bump Tuesday. This is week 19 and 20. I didn't end up doing a video last week because it was kind of hectic, a lot happened, and I couldn't find the time to do week 19 video. So I'm just going to combine it. As far as how I'm feeling, I feel pretty great. No new symptoms. The only thing I've noticed is my belly is really starting to grow now and it's starting to show. So that's a little exciting and I'm kind of happy I'm over that phase of I have a belly, I don't have a belly, I have a belly, because it kind of made me feel kind of gross the whole time, like, oh, I just look fat sometimes. But now that I have the belly, I feel pregnant, I look pregnant, and I kind of like that a lot more. So I'm excited to have it get bigger. First news, on a positive note, and just because I can't maintain myself, we did go for an ultrasound. The first one, the baby wouldn't flip over, so we couldn't find out the sex. And the second one, we found out it's going to be a baby girl. I'm really excited because I had my heart set on a little girl. My husband, he didn't really mind. He used to always say he wanted a little girl, but once I got pregnant, he was pretty open and he doesn't care whatever it was. But it ended up being a very emotional session. This wasn't with the doctor. This was in an office in Arlington Heights where they only do 4D ultrasounds just for gender check. It's not medical in any way. And that's how we had to go about doing it, or else I would probably have to wait another 3 weeks for a doctor visit. So yeah, we're pretty excited that it's a girl, yay! And I also wanted to talk about my doctor visits. Now, I found my doctor visits to be very cold and not warm, not very humane, and I've gone through 2 doctors now, so the experience has been with both. It's not like it's just been one person and I haven't really given it a try. This will lead more into, which I'll do a separate video, because I don't plan on having my birth in a hospital, but I'll get into depth with that on another video because that's a whole other conversation. So I kind of just wanted to tell you my experience. Maybe you've experienced it, maybe you haven't, maybe you've had a really good experience with your doctor, which I would want you to share, of course. But going to my experience, there's a couple things that upset me, and the very first would be that it seems very inhumane when I go in. Everything's a procedure and it seems like they're not happy for your situation. Now, it might just be my location, but my very first appointment, the doctor broke me the news of being pregnant almost as though I had a disease or something to be worried about. She treated me like a teenager who ended up getting knocked up. There's really no way to put it glamorously or sweetly. She just made it seem like it was the most horrible news she can give me. And of course I went in there knowing I was pregnant, excited, and this was pretty much just a proof of pregnancy type of appointment. So when she broke me the news, that really hurt me, because you almost want people to be happy for you or tell you something kind of in a joyful way. Oh yay, you're pregnant, you know, or your pregnancy test confirmed that you're pregnant, and not in a way of, oh my god, is something wrong with me. So that was the very first thing that I didn't like. The rest of the appointment, she was very bland with me and just told me, oh well, your next appointment you're gonna have a pap smear, and it may be with me, it may not be with me. So it turns out I did get another doctor this time. It wasn't the same one. So besides that, back to my most recent appointment. This doctor was very, I don't know where her head was. She seemed like she was in a totally different place, and very unthoughtful. So this is for the pap smear. She tells me to take off all my clothes and put on this gown, and they give you like a sheet, like a blanket. And so I do that, and she tells me, okay, well, go ahead, lay down and put your feet up on these little leg thingies that hold your feet up. And I ask her, because she has kind of her back to me, so I ask her, I'm like, do you want me to do this like right now, like get in the position? Because I knew as soon as my feet went up, you know, everything was exposed. So she says yes, kind of annoyed that I'm asking her, and then decides to leave the room and leaves the door open. And I'm facing the door with my legs just there. So, I mean, I only put one up because I was watching her and she left. So normally I put my feet back down and waited for her to come back in the room, which at that point she was annoyed with me because she had to tell me again to put my feet up. So that part kind of got me a little bit annoyed, probably the most annoyed, because the office was kind of full of people walking around, and for me to just have my feet up and be exposed and for her to walk out of the room and leave the door open without considering anything, I thought that was pretty mean. And so I kind of just let it go as, okay, maybe her mind was somewhere else, it's fine, let's move on. So we go to the breast examination, and I've had those before, and I know they do it very thoughtful as well. No, she completely uncovers me, so I'm just lying there kind of naked, and normally I wouldn't care if that's how they went, but because I've had them done before and they're never so vulgar in their way of doing it, it probably wouldn't have upset me, but that seemed to upset me too. And then after that, we go to listening to the baby's heartbeat, except I had no idea what was happening. She just gelled me up, didn't really say anything, put the mic on my stomach, and I started to hear it, and obviously I put 2 and 2 together, and I asked her, I'm like, oh my God, is that the baby's heartbeat? And she kind of coldly, what is the word, corrects me, saying, no, that's the fetus's heartbeat. So that was really harsh, and obviously I'm in love with, you know, the baby right now, and I'm happy, excited. It's a really huge thing for us. It's a really big experience where we're loving every moment of it. So to be corrected in a medical term and being told, oh, you know, it's a fetus, not a baby, I thought that was totally uncalled for and unnecessary. So yeah, that hurt. I wasn't very happy about it. And lastly, the pap smear, as we get started to do it, she obviously, if you've had one done before and you're not prepared, it could get a little bit uncomfortable or weird. And so she starts, and the first thing she does is the first step, where she obviously inserts this device in you to keep you open, and decides, oh, I don't have my tools, I'm not prepared. So you're just kind of stuck there. For me, it's uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Other people may say that they don't feel anything during the pap smear. I feel it all. I know what's going on. I don't like it. But so she didn't have her tools or anything ready. Her mind was just not there. She was somewhere else, distracted. So I really didn't like that. The pap smear took longer than it should have because she wasn't prepared. But she finishes off with me and just sends me to go get my blood drawn. And this part is kind of interesting. Now I'm not dealing with the doctor anymore, I'm dealing with the nurses. And my experience has already been kind of bad, and I'm not liking it. So they have me wait for about 25 minutes to get my blood drawn, and they tell me that I'm gonna need 5 tubes of blood drawn. And then she gets a doctor's order that says, no, she'll need 7 tubes. And then finally they say, oh no, you know, let's do an extra tube, so you'll do 8 tubes altogether. I don't like needles. I've never been fond of needles. I deal with them, but in my own way of not looking at what's going on and trying to distract my mind and think of other things. So I go ahead and sit down, and as she's doing her thing, some time passes, and I'm kind of in that stage where, okay, she should be done by now. I think she'll almost be done by now. So I decide to take a look. And as I look down, I see blood all over my arm, on the chair, on the floor, and none of the tubes were filled. So of course I feel horror and disgust to know that I'm covered in blood and you haven't even gotten one sample yet. So I kind of ask her what's going on. She's like, I think I'm gonna need help. I'm like, you should have asked for help maybe 10 minutes ago. But anyways, she gets someone in there to finally do it. It takes a while, but it gets done, and I'm pretty much just happy to leave the doctor's office. So I have to say, having my appointments, none of them have been very good. And it goes in play of, I don't like hospitals. It's not that I don't like doctors, I don't like their procedure and the way that everything has to be done in a specific way, and don't have heart, and you know, it's almost like a book, a written book that they all just follow. They can't stop following that book and do something out of the ordinary. So I feel like they become robots and they don't seem human anymore to me. So for me, I've never really liked doctors, and this is one of the big reasons that I won't be having my birth done in a hospital. But like I said, we'll get into that later. So for this video, I kind of just wanted to know if everyone else kind of had the same experience or something similar, or you've just learned to deal with it, or if you even had a good experience. Kind of just tell me what's been going on with your doctor visits. I'd love to know what everyone else is dealing with, or, you know, am I the only one out there, or does someone else have a similar story but didn't know if this is just procedure and whatever, I gotta suck it up. But let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. And until next Baby Bump Tuesday, have a wonderful day. Stay beautiful. Bye!